Analyzing everything that we know. So the number one change that we see is, yes, it is intensifying. This thing is strengthening. Now a category 2, previously a cat 1. So as you're waking up with us, here's what you need to know. Besides the category 2 designation, what we knew was going to happen was those watches and warnings would be issued. So we now do have a hurricane watch, tropical storm watch in effect as well for portions of the state. For our area, we're under a hurricane watch, and we do have a storm surge watch. So we did anticipate that. The latest on Milton, we see that it has those winds sustained right now at 100 miles per hour. Pressure has dropped to 972 millibars. So when that pressure drops, that means it's strengthening rapidly. And the movement to the east and southeast right now at about 8 miles per hour. It's still all the way out in the western portion of the Gulf as a category 2. Now heading into Tuesday, that's when we start to see those winds picking up to 130 miles per hour. Now 145 mile per hour winds by the time we hit overnight hours on Wednesday. Now, could it briefly become a Cat 5? Sure, out there in the Gulf. However, here's the key piece of good news we want to focus in on, is that we could see it drop to a Cat 3. Thanks to wind shear, that's going to help to disorganize this storm and weaken it a little bit before it makes the landfall. And you could see as it's pushing over the state, by the time it reaches Orlando, central portions of the state, it will be downgraded and weakened potentially into a Category 1. So that's going to be the main key takeaways is number 1, it is now a Category 2. Number 2, the track has not shifted very much. Our impacts are looking the same. And number 3, we do have watches and warnings now. Hurricane watch in effect, meaning we have hurricane conditions expected in the next 48 hours, and also tropical storm watches and a storm surge watch up and down our coast. So more of it still the same. Here are those watches. No warnings quite yet, but we want to make sure that you're informed, prepared, and connected. So make sure you are getting out there today. You have plenty of time still to get those preps underway. Now we do know that this system is going to be a Wednesday thing. That's the deal. And here's that storm surge watch for you so you can see it's up and down our coast, even all the way up into Citrus County, down into Southwest Florida, even including portions of South Florida there that you can see. And right now, we also have some showers out there. So not only are we dealing with the preps from Milton, but just make sure you have your umbrella on you today. We're going to continue to see these on again, off again showers. Thanks to something completely different, unrelated to Milton, we have an area of low pressure. This is going to keep us much more cloudy and gloomy like we were yesterday, and keep us much cooler as well. Temperatures starting off in the 70s, some areas even in the 60s. We see 72 for Land O'Lakes, Lutz at 71, wider lookout, 72 for Brooksville, and a 70 there for Lakewood Ranch. Right now stepping outside to 74. Dew point almost matching there, so still feeling pretty sticky even though we are cooler. And we do see that those showers are going to continue throughout the day today. Take a look. They're going to be on again, off again, drying out though heading into the afternoon hours, but still maintaining that cloud cover. Tuesday, everything's still looking pretty calm. So both today and tomorrow, we want to use these days to go ahead and make sure you're getting ready. So here are some things to do. You want to gas up, double check your kit, charge all your devices, and make those preparations to your home. One look right now again at Hurricane Milton. We have our new 5 o'clock cone. The wind speeds have increased to 100 miles per hour. The pressure has dropped, and it is still located all the way in the western portion of the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to continue then to strengthen over these warm Gulf waters, and then as it tries to make that landfall, it's going to interact with wind shear before it does. That'll help to drop it. However, those watches are still in effect because of how big this system is. So here's the key piece of good news. Take a look at the system. That circle right there interacting with all that dark blue. That's the wind shear. That's going to help to debilitate the system a little bit. The Euro and the GFS still not in great agreement. The GFS takes it farther north while the Euro keeps it farther south. So the farther south it is, the less impacts we are going to face here in terms of surge. However, everyone's going to be impacted. The West Coast, even the East Coast as well. Look at these winds kicking up. This is heading into your Wednesday and Thursday. Those winds are going to be really just something else. At this point, what we know is that the system is going to continue to realistically have a very large wind field, meaning those impacts are going to be felt far outside of the cone. That's why we can't focus on the line. But you do see the line is just south of Tampa Bay, meaning that we are going to face those impacts here. So we want to make sure you're just ready to go. But remember this, we have something called feeder bands much earlier ahead of where the eye wall is. So we start to see the rain, isolated tornadoes heading into late Tuesday and early early Wednesday. And we do know that we have that excessive rainfall outlook, so that's something else to look at too. So here are the three main takeaways. Surge, rain, wind, and isolated tornadoes are possible heading into late Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. The biggest impacts are going to be felt Wednesday. You have time today to get everything done. Everything's going to be okay. We do know that we have to heed those evacuation zones. Please, guys, go ahead and do that and make sure you're making those necessary plans. The rainfall definitely looking like a significant impact, but take a look for yourself. Here's your 7-day forecast.